Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we will be, of course, as usual, reading out of the Old King James Bible. Be reading from the Old Testament and from the New Testament to the law and to the testimony. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Okay. We also will be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title the unknown God that people don't know about. The unknown God that people don't know about. Okay? I am going to share these scriptures with you right quick. You can jot them down if you like. But yeah, I tell you people, everybody serving that sun god on Sunday. And everybody saying you can eat anything. All you got to do is pray over it. People saying we not under the law, we under grace. And people keeping that Christmas thing, saying that this is the season. Jesus is the reason for the season. Keeping Easter, Halloween, all that stuff. But is any of that coming from the unknown God? Mm-mm, mm-mm. You have to ask yourself the question, what God are you serving if you're doing all of those things? Okay. Because the God of this Bible, Jesus, the unknown God, hey, he don't deal with none of that. And he told us not to deal with it. Okay. But we're going to show you this in the scriptures here. We're going to see. And you ask yourself the question, what God are you serving? And do you know this unknown God? Do you know him, the true and living God? But we'll see. We're going to go over these scriptures. I'm going to stop sharing these and we're going to get started with this. I'm going to start this in Acts, the 17th chapter. I'm going to start reading at verse 7. I'm sorry, at verse 21. And this is when Paul was in Athens, okay, and he was talking to these Ephesians. So let's see what transpired right here. All right, this is Acts 17. I'm starting reading at verse 21, and it reads, for all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Verse 22. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. Okay, verse 23. For as I passed by, and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. Lord, Paul said he's going to declare this unknown God to you. Okay. Verse 24. God has made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelling not in temples made with hands, neither is worship with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things. This true and living God, this unknown God that you don't know about, he made all things, even heaven and earth, gave man his breath. Okay, and made all things. All right. But let's go a little bit further into this. Let's go over here to St. John right quick. Going to St. John, the fourth chapter. And I'm going to start reading at verse 19. Now, right here, the Lord, he was talking to this Samaritan. He was in Samaria and he was talking to this Samaritan woman, and his disciples that day went on into town to get buy some meat. So he was left alone with this woman at Jacob's well. And let's see what transpired right here and see what he told this woman. Okay, verse 19, and it reads, the woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Verse 21. Let's see what the Lord told her here. Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Verse 22. Now listen at this. Ye worship ye know not what? He told that woman, said, you worship, you don't know what you worshiping. Okay. And I say to all of those that's keeping that Sunday thing, all of those keeping that Christmas, Easter, Halloween, all that stuff, and don't keep the Lord's dietary law. Hey, ye worshiping you know not what. Okay. We're going to show you that. But let's see here. Uh, Verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. God's word is true. Okay, he is the true and living God, and that's the one you got to word. That's the one you got to worship. All right, he's the unknown God to you. All right, but let's go a little further here. Let's go back over here to let's go to where we're going. Let's go to Psalms right quick. We'll go to Psalms 44. Psalms 44, and we'll start reading at verse, let's see, hmm, verse 20, verse 20. Now, and it reads, if we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, verse 21, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. The Lord, that let you know right there. The Lord look right into your mind, and he look in there and he search it out. And you know what you thinking? He made you. He made that big brain of yours. You think he can't look in and read it? Look right into your mind. But hey, you've forgotten the name of the Lord, the true and living God, and you're stretching out your hands. You're going into them Sunday church. You're stretching out your hands, trying to worship something that you don't even know what you're worshiping. Ye worship, ye know not what. Okay, God is not the God of Sunday. He's the God of the Sabbath day, even this unknown God. Okay, now let's go a little bit further here. Let's go right over here to Proverbs right quick. Take a quick look at this here. Going to Proverbs, let's see, Proverbs 2. Proverbs 2, and I'm going to start reading at verse 1. Let me tell you something, man. I had a woman tell me one time, she said, you know what? I used to fear God, but now I know I don't have to fear God. I said, who told you that? I said, whoever told you that, you need to walk up to them and go smack them upside the head. Plain and simple, because they lied to you. Let's look at this here. This is Proverbs 2, and start reading at verse 1. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, whose commandments are they? Commandments of the Lord, okay? So that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yeah, if thou criest after knowledge and lifteth up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord. And find the knowledge of God, even the true and living God. Okay? Verse 6, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Okay? All right, plain and simple. Gotta learn to fear this God. Okay? People say, no, I don't have to fear God. This God said, hey, you better fear him. Let me show you that right quick. Let's go right over here to Ecclesiastes right quick here. I'll read one verse over there. Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. And let's see. I'm going to read one verse, verse 13, and it reads, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God. See that? Fear God and keep his commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. Okay? You got to learn to fear this God, even this true and living God, the unknown God. Okay? Now, let's go over here to Isaiah right quick. Let's go to Isaiah 43. I believe this is, yeah, Isaiah 43. I'm going to read one verse over here. I'll show you this. Here, Isaiah 43. And I'm going to read, let's see, I'm about to 43. Okay, 43. I'm going to read one verse, verse 11. I even I, am the Lord, and besides me there is no Savior. Okay? Lord say he is the Lord, and ain't nobody else gonna be able to save you but him. Okay? The only one and true and living God, Jesus, the unknown God. Okay? Now, let's go a little bit further here. We're still in Isaiah. Let's go right over here to Isaiah 66 because people still say, LD, man, you don't know what you talking about. Wait a minute. Am I talking here? I'm reading this. Okay? I am reading this to you. Okay? I'm going to show you right here. When the Lord come, if you ain't fearing him and doing what he say, people say, man, they say hey, we can eat anything. All we got to do is pray over it. Let's see if that be the case. All right. Let's look at this right here. Let's go to, this is Isaiah 66. I'm going to start reading at verse 16. Now, listen to this here. And this is future people. All right. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain. Listen to this. And the slain of the Lord shall be many. Mm. Okay. You say, Lord don't hurt nobody. What do you say right here? The Lord gonna come with fire and vengeance, and he gonna do a whole lot of slaying, killing. Okay. Verse 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. What is swine's flesh? Ain't that pork? That pork chop? Pork chitlins? All that unclean stuff Lord told you not to eat. What is it right here? All right, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and abomination, and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. Oh, you still eating that stuff when the Lord come? What he say right here? He said, you gonna be consumed with all them other slain that he gonna kill. Okay? Keep that in mind. You ask yourself the question, you saying you can eat anything, all you got to do is pray over it. Somebody told you that. All right. They took the scriptures over there and Paul, right, uh, got over there and got twisted up. Now they saying, oh, you can eat anything. Why? Because they want, because you want to hear what you want to hear because you like doing it. I'm going to tell you something. You see right here what he said. You're going to be consumed together. All right. All of you. All right. So leave that stuff alone. Go and read the Lord's dietary laws in Leviticus 11 chapter and Deuteronomy 14. Go read it and do it. Okay. Now, let's go a little bit further here. Let's turn right over here because I hear people say, well, shoot, man, you over in that Old Testament, man. That's been done away with, man. Get out of that Old Testament. I'm like, man, what in the world are you talking about? Okay, let me show you this right quick. Man, talking about, I had a guy tell me one day, man, get out of that Old Testament. Stay out of that Old Testament. I said, man, you must be out of your mind. Look at here. This is Isaiah 8 and one verse here, verse 20, and it reads, to the law and to the testimony. What's the law? The old book. What's the testimony? The New Testament. Okay. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. What is that light? Truth. If you ain't reading both of these right here, ain't no truth in you. Plain and simple. Okay. So no, we're not going to be getting out of this Old Testament. Okay. We're going to keep reading it just as well as the new. All right. But let's go a little further here. Let me show you this right here. Let me go to Micah right quick. I'm going to show you this. This is Micah 5. And I'm gonna start reading at let's see, verse 14. And Lord say, man, people say, hey, Lord, oh man, he don't hate nobody. He love everybody. He won't hurt nobody. You want to bet that God you serve may not. But I'm tell you something. Jesus, the unknown God, the God of this Bible, the God of the Sabbath day, you get you. All right, let me show you. Look here. This is at Micah 5 and start reading at verse 14. And it reads, and I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities. Hmm. Verse 15, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathens. What is heathen? Nations. and such as they have not heard. What? You think this God ain't gonna hurt nobody? You get on his bad side if you want to. He'll get you. He had it written, I forget them, I think it was in Psalms. He said, man, he said, the Lord said, I would tear you to pieces. This God don't play. Don't get on his bad side, people. I'm telling you. All right, well, let's go a little further here. Let me look at let's go to Amos right quick. I want to read this right here. You say you don't hurt nobody. We're going to Amos, the third chapter here. And let's see, I'm going to read one verse right here. Verse 6, and it reads, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Ask the question. Watch this. Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord has not done it? That question. You see all this evil going on. You got these earthquakes in diverse places. You got tornadoes. You got hurricanes. You got floods. You got mass fires. Who you think doing that? What the Lord say right here? Oh, have evil come upon the city and now the Lord ain't done it? The Lord tell that evil angel, hey, have at him. Take that flood and put it right there. Take that tornado and put it over there. Okay? Shake them up with that earthquake over there. Supposed to be correcting them. But people not listening. Eyes that they can't see and ears that they can't hear. Plain and simple. But hey, get to know this God because he will do you. All right? Well, let's go a little further here. Let's go to one more place here. I want to show you this. Let's go to Psalms 102nd chapter, 132nd chapter of Psalm, because people saying, oh, yeah, they ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. We Lord gonna rapture us off to heaven. He gonna rapture you to heaven, huh? Let's see if that be the case. All right. Because God, this Jesus, the unknown God, he said he gonna dwell on this earth. And this is why it's gonna be his habitation forever. Okay, let me show you this. All right. This is Psalms 132, and I'm start reading at verse 13, and it reads, for the Lord has chosen Zion. Now, where is Zion? Zion is Jerusalem, right? Okay. For the Lord has chosen Zion. He has desired it for his habitation. Now, what's your habitation? Where you gonna live? All right. 14. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. So the God of this Bible, even Jesus, the unknown God, he said he gonna be on this earth, okay? And he gonna dwell here forever. So now you want to go up to heaven, you gonna be up there all by yourself. But he had it written. He told you you can't go there. He said, no man is ascended up to heaven except him which came down from heaven, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. He's the only one that came down and went back up. Okay. The only other one that want to go is Satan. You want to follow him? I don't think so. But Jesus, the unknown God, I just declared him to you. The one that you don't know about. Think about that. All right. So with that food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.